What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode number 97. And today we're going to talk about the end of year awards and the end of year statistical benchmarks that are all across the MLB. Tonight, I'm going to talk about Rookie of the Year, Manager of the Year, of course, MVP and Cy Young. And I could not be happier to do it with my friend from Denver, Colorado, Jason Ashby. Jason, in 11 days, we're going to be hanging out at Mike Haver's wedding. Are you excited?
I am pumped. I'm starting off this trip by making the Mecca trip to Cooperstown. Gonna hang out at the Baseball Hall of Fame, and then make our drive down to New Jersey, where yes, we will watch our friend Mike Haber say "I do."
It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be recording. We're going to be bringing the trophy. It's going to be so cool.
Yes.
Can't wait to get this thing started. But let's talk right now about the end of year awards. We watched this season go down, and at the end of the year, of course, somebody's got to be named MVP. Let's start in the American League. Jason, who is your American League MVP? And if it's not Shohei Ohtani, why not? And who?
Yeah. Look, and I said this to you off camera. There are guys who I think are going to win it, and there are guys who I think should win it. Ohtani is the guy who's going to win it because it's Shohei Ohtani. He does it from both sides of the ball, and he does it at an MVP level. That said, I do think there is a strong argument for Corey Seager to take home the honors. He has put together. He missed some time, but when he is in that lineup with the Rangers, it's a different looking team. And look, there were a better team than the Angels. He meant more to that team than Shohei did to the Angels. I think there is a case to be made that Seager has to get some recognition. But at the end of the day, Ohtani walks away with it because it's Ohtani.
Yeah. I'm going to say this a lot here because I feel like I said to you off camera, I just have to write them down because they're all in my head. And it's one of the easiest seasons for me to name off who I think are going to win the end of year awards because there's just one very huge standout at each one of these positions. Ohtani being the AL MVP is just it's a no-brainer. It's a slam dunk. It's as easy as it gets because you said it. He did it on both sides of the ball, and he did it at an elite level. So that begs my question. The National League MVP, if that's not Ronald Acuna, who is it?
It's Ronald Acuna. I mean,
Yes.
again, yes, you can make an argument that Mookie Betts gets some recognition, but there's no way that it's not Ronald Acuna. Best team in baseball, best player on the best team in baseball is Ronald Acuna.
Yeah, and setting the new benchmark of 40-70 as the as the high end of all seasons. I mean, 41 home runs, 73 stolen bases, and a 337 batting average. He was nasty.
And he played the full season. Like, coming off of that knee injury, he played a full
Mhm.
season, and it was one of the better seasons we've seen all together in a very long time.
I mean, I could listen to the argument about Mookie Betts and I could listen to the argument about Matt Olson, but really I can't when the man stole almost 75 bases in a season.
Yeah.
No, thank you. He is the NL MVP.
I do wonder though if with the new rules and the new bases, if 75 stolen bases is right now is wow. But I wonder if in a year or two it's gonna be like, okay, yeah, well, he had bigger bases, so maybe 75 isn't as special or won't be as special as it is now. And that won't get
I
a guy
think
an
the
MVP
bases
award.
thing has less to do with it than the pitch clock and the
Okay. Yeah,
number of throwovers,
right.
right? We're not so concerned about how many times a guy steps off. Or we are concerned about how many times a guy steps off during an at bat, and that gives the advantage to the runner. I think that's more the thing we're going to look back at and
Yeah.
say that changed this sport. I mean, listen, I'm going to say something, and it's going to sound dirty, but I'm going to say it anyway. There's only 3 inches, and 3 inches is 3 inches. But like,
But it's a game of inches, right? I
it
mean,
is,
baseball is a
it
game of
is,
inches.
it
And
is, and the bases are only 3 inches bigger. But it's 3 inches.
But
And all right.
the point being, whatever the rule change you want to talk about, I think I just wonder if the luster of the stolen base will eventually shine back down because everybody's going to get a chance to steal 75 bases. Not 75 bases, but
I don't think
even
anybody's going to be stealing 75 on a yearly
no,
basis.
but I mean, you have guys like Asterio Ruiz who's stealing 50 some odd bases or whatever he did. So
Mhm.
like it, it is a stolen base enough to guarantee a guy an MVP award, even if he hits 40 home runs plus his 70 stolen bases going forward in years to come. I think it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
I think if we see an uptick in 40-40 guys over the next few years because of this, they might want to scale back the rules and give the
Yeah,
pitchers a bit more of an advantage. But right now, Ronald Acuna has just set a ridiculous benchmark that will probably not be seen for many years to come.
100%.
Let's go over to the pitching side here now. And who is your AL Cy Young? And if it's not Garrett Cole, then who is it?
It's Garrett Cole, and
Exactly.
look, I hate to say it because I hate the Yankees, but I guess they need something to be happy about. He had a heck of a season. He had an absolute heck of a season. I mean, I can't even really come up with a guy who you can make an argument for. Yes, Pablo Lopez had a great season. Kevin Gausman led the league in strikeouts. There are some guys. Sonny Gray had a really good season for the Twins,
Mhm.
but when you look at it at a at the whole, it's Garrett Cole.
He led the league in whip with the only sub one whip of the entire pitching class this year. 209 innings, 15 wins, a sub 3 ERA at 2.63, and over 200 strikeouts. Well done, sir.
Yep.
It's and I hate to be the guy who's going to toot his own horn, but I called this before the season started because I had Garrett Cole as my number one starting pitcher. I said this is the year he's going to have to go out and drop dick and really pitch his way to a Cy Young because there's nobody behind him in the Yankees rotation to pick up the slack. He did exactly what he's supposed to do. The whole rest of the team kind of sucked.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's where it is. But yeah, you named the other guys: Pablo Lopez, Kevin Gausman. Maybe you want to make a case for Luis Castillo as well in Seattle, who had a sub 3 ERA. But it's Garrett Cole, and it's probably not all that close. The only one I had a question about is NL Cy Young. So I will give you the opportunity to name your NL Cy Young, and if it's who I think it is, it's going to be the same guy I have.
You know what? I was back and forth a lot with this, and you're right. I think this is probably one of the lowest slam dunk percentage of the categories. I originally was going with Zach Wheeler, but I'm actually going to go with a different Zach. I'm going to go with Zach Gallen. I looked at his numbers, and again, looking at it at a composite from a body of work, a team that went to the playoffs out of nowhere. 17 wins and like 200 some odd strikeouts and like low walk percentage. He had just a really good year for like a Diamondbacks team that people still don't realize are in the playoffs.
17-9, a 3.47, 210 strikeouts with 220. I'm sorry, 210 innings with 220 strikeouts. It was a good season. It's a really good season.
Yeah.
He wasn't even one of the two guys I was thinking of.
I know Blake Snell, I know, is going to get probably a lot of the recognition. The walks, though, just kill me. Like he had like a
Oh, he led the
17,
league in walks.
yeah, like 17 walk percentage or something like that. Like
Mhm.
something ridiculous like that. I
Yeah.
like, okay, so you're really good at stranding all your runners, I guess, but like I don't consider that better than somebody who maybe had a few fewer strikeouts, but also had a few fewer walks.
You know who had a whole lot more strikeouts and who had more wins than the Zach Gallen we spoke of?
Spencer Strider.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's this guy. I mean, he had the most strikeouts in the league. He led the league in wins. He was on the best team in baseball. Sorry, like the
But
same
like, so
reasons
of
we're
course he
saying it's
led
Ronald
the league in
Acuna
wins.
are the reasons I'm saying it's Strider.
He wasn't even the top 10 in ERA uh in the
No,
league. I don't I like yeah, the strikeouts tonight are great. The wins are cool, but like I think wins is an overrated stat anyway, and he plays for the Braves, so of course he's
I
gonna have
agree.
20 wins. So
Mhm.
I shade him. I give Zach Allen the edge.
And a two-run homer by Josh Young, and we have a baseball game in Texas.
Oh my goodness.
5-2. Oh goodness. No, I agree with you that wins is an overrated stat, but when you're the only guy who does win 20 games by like an extended margin, and you lead the league in strikeouts, his ERA wasn't bad. It was 3.86. And I don't see a reason why this isn't the guy on the best team in baseball. Blake Snell should get some votes, but yeah, you're right. He led the league in walks by any pitcher, 99
Yeah.
in yeah. No, thank you. You don't. I don't care how low your ERA is. You walked half the ballpark.
It's yeah. Uh, you're constantly putting yourself in danger. And yeah, again, like he's able to strand a lot of those runners because he had a really low ERA, but at
Mhm.
the end of the day, that's ugly.
And dark horse votes are going to go to oh my god, Kodai Senga,
Yeah,
who had a really nice year for the Mets.
he probably lost either that or our next category.
Right. Who is your National League Rookie of the Year then, and why isn't it Corbin Carroll?
Yeah, if it's not Corbin Carroll, it's Kodai Senga, and it's gonna be Corbin Carroll.
Yeah.
There was a point. There was like a 2 week stretch during the summer where you started thinking maybe Senga has a chance here. Carroll started struggling a little bit. I think like towards like late August, and Senga was just pitching his ass off. Uh,
Hmm.
but when you look at the body of work for the season, it's Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's who I've got as well. Again, it's what just one of those seasons where there is one very large candidate that makes sense. And then there are cases to be made elsewhere, but realistically, they're not going to match up. So, moving over into the American League, who's your rookie of the year?
I, you know what? I'm gonna flip it around. I want to hear yours first.
Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Because I again, I had thoughts of the guy who you just mentioned hit a 2 run home run here in this game, Josh
Hmm.
Young. But I looked at the numbers and I compared them. It's Gunnar Henderson. It's not even a contest.
Yeah, dude had a wonderful year. Did have a little bit of a strikeout problem, but what do you want from a rookie? He also had 28 home runs and I think it was 10 steals. So,
And like he had like a over 6 WAR, which I don't really look at WAR, but I know that the voters do, and so that's huge. Um, yeah, it's Gunnar Henderson, absolutely.
yeah, 259 average. No, I'm sorry. That was 2022. 255 average, 82 RBIs, 100 runs scored, 56 walks to 159 strikeouts. So, it's a good season. I really like this kid going forward. Now, manager of the year is always the interesting one because you have to think about teams that succeeded when you really didn't expect them to, or you have to have one really just dominant team throughout the year. And I don't think we had that unless you're giving it to Brian Snitker, but I don't think that's happening.
Yeah,
National League manager of the year, who do you got and why?
you know what? I tell you what, it's for me. It's the year of the D-backs. I'm giving it to Torey Lovullo.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Allen gets Cy Young, Corbin Carroll gets the Rookie of the Year, and he gets the Manager of the Year. Diamondbacks were not supposed to be this good yet in a division with the Dodgers and the Padres and the Giants, and they're fighting for a pennant. So, like, why is it not him?
Yeah, he also just got an extension. You got to believe that this team is going to be around for a while. The only piece that they're really losing in the offseason is Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Okay, you can
Yeah,
replace that. It's not that. Oh, and Tommy Pham won't be there next year either. So, not a big deal. You don't have to worry about those two guys because you got enough young outfielders coming up, including the guy who plays center field for them. And this guy's jersey. This is Alec Thomas. I love this. I love that guy.
yeah.
Young outfielder. I also have Lavello, and it's not really all that close. I mean, I'll hear the arguments for Snitker, and I guess I'll hear the argument for Craig Counsell as the third guy, but like, really? We kind of
I,
expected the Brewers to do a little bit of this.
yeah, and again, it was he. they won 92 games, the Brewers, but in a division that, yeah, I know the Reds and the Cubs were kind of in there at the end, but it really wasn't all that competitive.
Right, right. Over in the American League side, who you have and why isn't it Brandon Hyde?
Because it is Brandon Hyde.
That's exactly it. We keep hitting on the exact same names here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll listen to Rocco Baldelli's argument. I really
Yeah.
will, because
Yeah.
Minnesota wasn't supposed to be here, but
Yeah. I mean, Brandon Hyde. I mean, the team is literally a team of rookies.
mm-hmm.
Like, and yeah, they didn't get as far in the postseason as you would want, but they got to the dance. Like this team was just almost unbeatable this year.
Oh my goodness, what a catch. What an amazing catch by Leody Taveras. That was he just
he has put
robbed
on
Jordan Alvarez of his
he
seventh
has
home
put
run of
on
the
quite a
postseason.
postseason.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was almost Jordan's seventh home run of the postseason, so that would
Damn.
have been nuts. That would have been nuts. So yeah, man, I see a lot of the same things you're saying about Brandon Hyde. I mean, they're just all there's the favorites and then the arguments can be made elsewhere, but realistically, I think this is what's going to end up happening here, man.
Yeah, yeah. I like you said, I think it is as much of no brainers as you can get
Mm-hmm.
in these categories in a particular season. So
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out, in November when these are given out. But yeah, I think it's pretty easy.
pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Let's move on to the end of year statistics. Now, every year I go over a bunch of these categories that I find interesting. And the first one, Jason, we're going to play the guessing game. 4 guys that went 30-30. Now, this might be interesting because you've already done your end of year research as well, right?
I have, but I'm not gonna look at it. So this is gonna be more of a
Okay.
memory test than anything
Yeah.
else.
So 4 players went 30-30 this year. Now, obviously, we know one of them is very obvious.
Right, that'd be Ronald Acuna.
Yeah, who went 41 and 73, as we know.
All right. Did I know Bobby Witt stole 49 bases. Did he hit 30 bombs?
He
Yeah.
hit exactly 30 bombs,
Yes, he did.
30
I
and
remember that. Yes,
49.
yes.
Yes, he did. That is the one that usually I would think would trip people up, is because you wouldn't expect Bobby Witt to be on this list.
Yeah. Again, I think the rule changes helped him get to 49 stolen bases. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
he just squeaked out that 30th home run late in the season. So that
Mm-hmm.
was pretty cool. Uh 30-30.
One of them you should be very familiar with.
Oh yeah, Lindor. Duh.
Yeah, 31 and
Yeah.
31 on the season. So
Yep.
really nice season from him. That actually wasn't even the guy I think you should be familiar with.
All right, who am I missing? Oh, no, Julio didn't have 30.
Julio
He
had
did.
32 homers and 37 RBIs. That's the
All
guy I was
right.
talking
All
about. So
right.
that's the 4 right there: Acuna, Julio, Bobby Witt, and Francisco Lindor. Now let's move on to the next one. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys with 100 runs and 100 RBIs.
Okay, I know Lindor is one of them.
Lindor is not one of those.
Oh, did he just he
He
oh he
just
just missed
missed.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember he was shooting for that like the last game of the season. He just missed it. Yeah. Okay. 100 runs, 100 RBIs.
98
Oh, Acuna's got,
RBIs is what Lindor ends with.
huh?
98 RBIs is what Lindor
Yeah,
ends with.
yeah. He missed it by 2.
Mm-hmm.
Acuna.
Obviously, 149 runs scored, 106 RBIs.
I'll go with his teammate Matt Olson.
Also there, 127 runs scored and 139 RBIs.
How about the teammates of Betts and Freeman?
Both of those guys are on the list. Mookie at 126 and 107, and Freeman 131 and 102. You've
By the way,
got one more set of teammates, and then 2 other guys.
and by the way, all 4 of those guys are in the National League.
Yep.
Like, just kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
100 runs, 100 RBI. Um, Juan Soto.
Did not make the list.
Okay.
Not enough RBIs, I think.
Okay. Um. Hmm.
No,
Julio.
Juan Soto, 97 runs scored, 109 RBIs.
That was close.
Very close. Very close.
I don't think Julio had the RBIs.
He did 102 runs scored, 103 RBIs.
Okay. All right. I need
Good
to take
season
credit.
out of this dude. Like for getting him 12th overall, you had a nice year out of him.
Yeah, but like he was hurt, and then he had a rough start to the season. I was fearing for my life like through like May.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, so we've hit Freeman, Mookie, Olson, Acuna, and Julio. There's 3 left, and 2 of them are teammates.
Okay. Um. How about Kyle Tucker?
Kyle Tucker did not make this list.
Okay.
He also didn't make the 30-30 list because he hit 29 home runs and had 31 stolen bases.
Yeah.
He's one of those like really sneaky, gonna miss all of these things, but had a really good year.
Yeah. Okay.
And for the record, 97 runs scored, 112 RBIs for Kyle
Yeah, see,
Tucker.
he almost made it too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to say Goldschmidt, but the Cardinals were so bad this year.
No
No,
way. No way.
no.
Not even close.
Yeah. Um,
I'll say this much. All 3 of these guys are still playing baseball.
okay. Dulles Garcia.
It's correct. 108 runs scored and 107 RBIs.
Okay. So then let's say Nathaniel Lowe.
No, not even close.
He's in the run scoring position. Uh, okay. This Marcus Simeon, but he's at the top of the order. He had that many RBIs?
122
Okay.
runs scored and 100 RBIs. He played 162 games, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? And then the last one is another guy playing baseball, but not in the American League.
Okay. Um, Kyle Schwarber
Kyle Schwarber, 108 runs scored and 104 RBIs.
and 15,000 strikeouts.
Actually, he had less than you'd think. We'll get to that in a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yep.
All right, man. There were 4 dudes who had 99 or more walks. 4 of them.
Oh God.
Probably name 2 of them right off the top of your head.
Acuna.
No.
Really? Oh no, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't. He didn't walk.
No, he hit everything. He hit 330.
Yeah, I feel like I should know this. 99 or more walks.
99 or more, because there's one dude, and you probably won't get him, but he had 99 walks. And like when I did the cutoff at 100, I was like, oh no, I got to include this stupid dude who had 99 walks this year.
Okay. Oh, Schwarber.
Yeah, 126 was second in the league.
Yeah. Um, Soto.
131 led the league. The other 2 are a bit harder.
Yeah.
Both in the National League.
I want to say Trey Turner, but I don't think it's Trey Turner.
No.
Olson.
Yep, 104 walks out of Matt Olson. And then the guy that I literally made it the cutoff of 99 or more. Ian fucking Happ has the audacity to have 99 walks this year.
Could just get one more and have 100.
Right? Like, but it's one of those like, where the fuck did this come from that he's walking this much?
Yeah, right. He's never even come close to that before, right?
I don't think so. Like, this is sort of out of nowhere, and if that's what he's going to be going forward, okay.
His previous career high was 70 back in 2018.
Yeah, like all of a sudden he became like stupid plate discipline guy.
Or is it that there was really, I mean, I know Bellinger had a nice bounce back year, but was there anybody else in that lineup that you didn't want to face?
I want to say it was more like everybody was a B to B plus player. You
Yeah,
Dansby Swanson, this guy, Seiya Suzuki, uh, Heimer Candelario at the end of the year. All that other mess. Nico
yeah.
Horner.
Patrick Wisdom. Yeah,
You know, everybody was sort of B to B plus, and this is another one of those guys. He just happens to walk the most. I
hap,
don't know.
yeah, happens.
All right. There were 5 pitchers who threw 200 or more innings this year. 5 of them.
Okay. um, Garrett Cole.
209 innings was third.
Um, oh, I know. Chris Bassett had exactly 200.
Yes, exactly 200 innings, most of them on my team.
Shameless plug.
Yes, always, always.
uh, Kevin Gosman.
Nope,
No.
didn't quite make it. Who led
Oh,
the league in innings?
Logan Webb.
216. Good call.
Yeah. Um,
And then 2 more. One's a really, really good pitcher, and then the other one's just an innings eater that like you'll be like, oh yeah, that guy threw a lot of innings this year.
yeah. Um, it's not Framber.
Nope.
Oh, Gallon.
Gallon,
My,
210 innings.
yeah, my Cy Young pick.
Uh-huh. And then the innings eater is on a last place team in the National League.
Uh, nobody on the Nationals, and definitely nobody on the Rockies. So it's got to be the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Michaelis.
201 and a third. You nailed it, man. Good job.
Whew.
Good job. 2 more of these, man. We got 5 pitchers with 16 or more wins.
Okay, Spencer Strider,
20,
Gallon.
17, and now 3 dudes had 16.
Um, Wheeler.
Who?
Zach Wheeler.
No.
God, I hate wins.
Yeah, I know
um,
it's a terrible stat, but it's
no, I know. It's just one of those like classic.
well, it's got to be a good team that was somewhere near or in the playoffs.
Right. Oh, Justin Steele. Did he have?
16 wins out of Justin Steele. That's the
You know,
reason I made that the cutoff.
he's another guy actually that could be in the Cy Young conversation. He had
Yeah,
like
I think he'll get some sneaky votes.
yeah. He's not quite there yet, but like he had a 3 ERA. He didn't have the body of work that some of these other guys did, but
Mhm.
he had a nice season.
Very nice season.
um
2 other 16 game winners in the AL East.
AL East. Okay, I was about to say Pablo Lopez, but it's not Pablo Lopez. Uh
Nope.
Gosman.
Nope. Teammate.
Okay. Barrios.
The other one.
Bassett.
That's right. 16 wins for Chris Bassett. And then another guy in the AL East. That's not Garrett Cole, obviously.
No, not Garrett Cole. Like Kyle Bradish.
Nope. Wrong team.
Okay, because so it wasn't a good team in the AL East.
They won 99 games and made the playoffs.
Okay. Oh, Zach Eflin.
That's it.
Yeah.
Zach Eflin got 16 wins
He
this
gets lost in
year.
the shuffle because who the fuck is he?
He's the AL's Justin Steele. That's exactly what it is. Like,
But like he's been around for a while. Like
mhm.
and like
And
he
the
just came
Rays
out of
saw what
nowhere.
the Rays saw what they coveted in this guy, and they signed him this offseason to like this huge deal. And
He's
huge
probably
is, relative because it's
yeah,
the Rays.
it's the Rays. But like I think he's what they wanted Corey Kluber to be. And
Yes, I
wasn't.
agree. Yeah. They
Yeah.
just wanted to find a real solid dude out there that's going to eat some innings and get some wins. And Kluber just wasn't it.
Yeah.
Jason, there were 6 closers with 35 or more saves.
Wow. Okay. Um whew. Ryan Presley.
No.
Wow. Okay. Uh Duvall. Did he get 35?
Duvall, in fact, Duvall had 39 and was
Okay.
second in
Oh,
the
okay.
league, tied with one other guy.
Um how about Devin Williams?
Devin Williams had 36. Yes, he did make the list.
Okay. Um do we count Paul Sewald splitting the two teams?
He
No.
wouldn't. He didn't make it anyway.
Okay. Um I know Iglesias missed time, but how about Iglesias?
Nope.
Uh, um
A couple of these are last place teams.
oh, how about
Um,
okay, how about David Bednar
yeah, 39 saves for Bednar,
and Alexis Diaz?
37 saves for Alexis Diaz.
Um
Yeah, and then you got 2 left. Both are fairly close to playoff teams. They're like fringe. Both in the American League.
oh, Jordan Romano.
Nailed it. 36 saves
And
for that guy.
Clase.
And
Clase.
Clase, who's the best closer in the AL,
Yep.
44 saves. That's it. Crazy season, my friend, but we've gone over just about everything we can. Next time, we're going over the big season. We're going to go from draft day to close for all 16 teams. It's going to be a monster show. Benji's going to be back. It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know when that'll come to you because who knows? We've got a wedding coming up that involves a Haber brother, so we're just gonna play this by ear. What I will say is that now that we're in the off season, if you have an idea for a show like this or a show like anything else that you come up with, do the research, let one of us know, and we can schedule you in to get this thing done because I want to see a whole lot of other guys on this show this year. I know we have confirmed the other Haber brother will be joining us for a rankings show this year. That's what I got. That's what I got so
Okay.
far. So we'll see what ranking show it is when we get there. So for right now, we've got a lot of fun on deck for you guys. We hope you stick around this off season. Jason, thank you so much for being here, man.
Absolutely. Any chance to talk baseball is always fun and exciting. And you know what? To me, the baseball season never ends, even though the calendar says it does. We just talk about it all year long, and it just makes it so much more so much more enjoyable. So I look forward to it.
We've got free agency that's going to happen. We've got the winter meetings that are going to happen. We're going to do all kinds of shows throughout the off season. So you guys got to keep up with us. Follow us everywhere you possibly can, whether that's Spotify, iTunes, or whatever the hell fruit people use to listen to their music. Is that Apple Music now? It's
It
not
is.
iTunes.
It is in fact Apple
Okay,
Music. Yeah.
it's Apple Music. Awesome. We're on Amazon Music too, I think. Check us out, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. It's been real. It's been fun. And it's always real fun in the bigs. We'll see you next time.